Welcome everybody to It Tastes Different Gaming Appetizers. What's on the menu today is somebody's got sad pants. All right, before we get into it, make sure you like, share, subscribe, give us the thumbs up, hit those notifications, and let's dive into this. So, PlayStation boss calls out Microsoft's boss over an inadequate Call of Duty deal. Jim Ryan, who has the sad pants in this story, calls several more years of access to Call of Duty on PlayStation inadequate. So let's jump into this a little bit deeper before we jump to the guys here. So, back in June, Phil Spencer had a great call with Sony to let them know their intent. You know that they plan to honor their current commitments and offered an extended 3-year commitment for PlayStation and Call of Duty parity on the PlayStation consoles. Basically, that means we got it, you got it. We're not gonna dumb you down. We're not gonna keep stuff off the system. It's parity. And Jim Ryan, sad pants, has he's crying about it. He's saying that it is inadequate. He said he didn't intend to comment on what was understood to be a private business decision, but I feel the need to set the record straight because Phil Spencer brought this into the public forum. Ryan said in a statement to GameBiz, blah, blah, blah. Microsoft has only offered for Call of Duty remain on PlayStation for 3 years after the current agreement between Activision and Sony ends. After almost 20 years of Call of Duty on PlayStation, the proposal was inadequate on many levels and failed to take account of the impact on our gamers. We want to guarantee PlayStation gamers continue to have the highest quality Call of Duty experience, and Microsoft proposal undermines this principle. Now, I'm feeling a little teary. I got the vapors, so I'm going to pass this over to Nick while I get my composure. Nick,
all right, get your composure, my composer. This isn't a symphony. Take out your little violin. It is what it is. Microsoft, I really wasn't expecting Microsoft to take Call of Duty off of there, right? Because Call of Duty is such a big franchise. But that doesn't necessarily mean they won't. They're just saying like, hey, in your current contract, we'll keep it for 3 years. That doesn't mean that Sony can't write up a new contract, right? With Microsoft and them and saying like, hey, after 3 years, here's another contract. We'll pay you X amount of dollars to put it on our thing. And I bet you Microsoft will be like, all right, work out the details and go with that. And you'll have people out there that'll take sides and various things of that nature. But you got to remember at the end of the day, regardless if you're a PlayStation person or an Xbox person or whatever, these are companies that are there for one thing, and they're there to make profits, right? And that's all they care about. They don't care about me or you or anything like that. Jim Ryan says that, but, it's for the gamers, but it ain't for the gamers. It's more of in secret. It's for my pocketbook. Where's my money gonna go if you take it away? I mean, the gamers are gonna be real sad about it. Sure, they will be. They'll be upset, but he doesn't give a crap about that. And, and neither does Microsoft, right? As much as we love Phil and stuff, and he's done great for Microsoft and everything, he's also thinking about the money, right? They're all thinking about the money in the end. And that's what makes these companies' worlds go around, right? Is how much cash infusion can I make from this? So, if Sony wants to put a proposal up for a contract extension or a new contract, that's probably what Microsoft's looking at. Not necessarily an extension of a current contract, but a new contract where they can basically pull more money from Sony than's currently being done through Activision's contract as at the moment, right? So that's ultimately what it is. And Jim Ryan is just pissed because he knows that's what they're trying to do. And he's pissed because they had to spend more money on something that they want to keep on there because it does make them a lot of money, but he has to pay more to keep that, coming into the system. So he's kind of butthurt about it, which I understand. Everybody's going to be butthurt, but that's that's the business, right? That's the business they're in, and they've got to take hits when they come. I mean, if you're not going to do it, then Microsoft's just going to take Call of Duty and say, well, this is mine now. And, go cry me a river. Because to them, it doesn't really matter. Those people that are going to play Call of Duty are going to play it on a Windows PC, or they're going to go play it on an Xbox, right? And that's just more money for Microsoft. So in the end of the day, it really doesn't matter as far as these companies, crying at each other. Really, it comes down to just, where's my money? Where's the paycheck? And the paycheck's going to end after 3 years, and he's mad about that, right? So that's ultimately what it comes down to. But it is what it is. That's business for you, right? What about you, Pat? What do you think?
I think somebody needs to tell Jim Ryan what the word several means, because he seems to think that 3 years is not the definition of several. And just in case you're listening, Jim Ryan, it's the definition of several means more than two, but not many. So I don't know why you think that Phil Spencer is, you need to clarify what several means, because you obviously don't know what it means. It means more than two. And he said for at least three. So I don't think he was wrong. It's just Jim Ryan is, like I said, he's pissed off. He's got sad pants right now. They don't want to share. Microsoft doesn't want to share. Nobody wants to share their profits. Just as Nick said, their company. They don't care what you and I or anybody else thinks, as long as we keep spending money with them. I mean, really. There's game developers have good years and bad years. And what I mean by that is necessarily profits, but how gamers perceive them, right? Sony is basically seeing how far they can jam that stick with the pineapple on the end of it up everybody's ass, and for how long, and how many people will still follow them. Microsoft is, with Phil Spencer under the helm, is basically trying to come off as more consumer friendly, more as we're here for the gamers. We're not stupid. We're not blind. We're not naive to think that they don't have ulterior motives, because they got shareholders to keep happy. But perception has to do with a lot with consumer spending on your product. If you come off as, I don't give a shit about you, then we're not likely to spend our money with you. And that's how Sony is really coming off this year. And this just seems more kind of it. But I understand Sony's problem. Call of Duty is a very popular game. And if it leaves their platform, there could be a potential for people to leave with it. I doubt that it's going to be that much. But, it may create, in my opinion, it may create more multi-console owners than there is now. Instead of them just owning a PlayStation, they may also go, well, I want to play this, so I need to either get it on my PC or I need to get an Xbox, and then that'll let more of the diehard Sony fans see how really crappy their dashboard is, and be like, oh, this is really hard to use. It's really bad. Because in my opinion, this is just my opinion, the Xbox dashboard is 100 times better. It works better, more stable, easier to navigate than the Sony one. But like I said, that's my opinion. Some people may not agree with me on there, but it is what it is. But I think that Jim Ryan is just, he's upset, and rightfully so. If Microsoft does decide to take this away, it will take some people away with it, but that's business. And I don't see how anybody could say that this will be an antitrust or anti-anything lawsuit, because Sony has plenty of games that are not on PlayStation. Xbox has plenty of games that aren't on PlayStation. And some of those are acquired through acquisitions and such. And whoop-de-doo. I mean, it's a popular game. That's about the only thing you got going for you that you could say is a problem. But it's still a singular game franchise. That's it. It's not like they're saying we're taking hundreds of games away from PlayStation in the next 2 years. Sorry, but that's business. I'm kind of on Xbox's side here, Microsoft's side here. It's business. They bought this. They're wanting to buy the studio, and they're trying to get this done. And if they decide that after the contracts are over, they don't want to put it on your system, they're not obligated to. And as much as you want to say that it's anti, whatever the laws they're trying to push through and say this isn't legit, it's not. There's still other studios out there. Sony owns their own studios, and Sony's first parties don't ever come to Xbox. And I'm not quite sure if Xbox has ever come to Sony neither. So, I need to go look at a list of games published by them, but Minecraft. But that was on there by Mojang, right? When Mojang had it before Microsoft. Was it on PlayStation before Microsoft bought Mojang? So,
Yep. But it's been on there for umpteen years now.
Gotcha. So, there's probably other titles, but PlayStation exclusives, which was, and I'm talking about released by, right? Because Mojang is an acquisition. But games that were released by first party after they were purchased. I'm not sure that Microsoft ever double dips, and I'm not sure Sony ever does neither. Sony is just now starting to release stuff to PCs for their first party studios. I don't think it's that big of a deal, but I'm also not a huge Call of Duty fan either. So Call of Duty would not drive me to one console or the other if it ever left. If it ever left Xbox, it's not going to drive me to PlayStation. And if I was on PlayStation, it wouldn't drive me to Xbox. But that's just me. I don't play that kind of game. I do play it, but I only play it with these guys when they want to play it. But if all we did was own Xboxes, I very highly doubt that it would drive any one of us to purchase an Xbox if we were just PlayStation only people. What about you, Nick? And Shane, what else do you guys got on this? I mean, it seems like a big nothing burger to me.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, Mr. Ryan can eat a dick because he's complaining about everything that he does. So Sony bought Bungie. Are we really going to see all the Destinies coming out to Microsoft as well?
I mean, we have so far. Well, they haven't removed two of the expansions.
I don't think they could probably remove it, but I think they'll definitely. I don't think you'll see too many of the expansions come to, besides what's out of the contract, come to Microsoft.
Yeah, maybe Destiny 3 might not be on Xbox, right?
Yeah, exactly. Final
Most
Fantasy
definitely won't be now.
Final Fantasy they've monopolized on. So, Final Fantasy 15 came to Microsoft, PlayStation, PC. 16 is only going to be on PlayStation, if I remember correctly. Somebody double check me because I don't want to be wrong on this. Final Fantasy 7 Remake and Final Fantasy 7 Remake Part 2, whatever the hell they're calling it, is also only on Sony. Sony is paying money to prevent these games from going on other consoles. So,
I don't necessarily agree with that. I think Square Enix is all
taking money.
It's a Japanese company. I don't honestly think that Sony pays them to have exclusive rights. I believe Square Enix is motherland type company. They're like, we're going to keep it in house. But they don't. I mean, they're going to be like, we're going to give. Well, maybe. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they knew exclusive. I mean, they're not
Square
permanent,
Enix
right?
Square Enix has a lot of games that a lot of re-releases that they've done lately. Some older games and some kind of remasters of like their Saga series and stuff like that they have only come to PlayStation, Switch, and PC, and that's it. Xbox totally out of it, right? I mean, even the new Final Fantasies, like the only Final Fantasy that's coming to Xbox is the I believe the remaster of Crisis Core. Other than that, 16 is a PlayStation 5 exclusive. I think it's a temporary exclusive. I don't think it's a forever exclusive.
So
and then the remake. Yeah, the remake and remake 2, they didn't announce remake 2, which I expected that at some point, this would be coming to Xbox, and then figure with remake 2, they would announce it multi-platform and then say the first one's coming to whatever. But no, remake 2, part 2 is also a PlayStation exclusive. So they might still come to Xbox, but probably after it's complete, right? And in a more completed form.
Yeah. So, I mean, Bitchy Jim is just doing the exact same thing he's whining about. And, it's just bullcrap. I mean, when they bought Insomniac, are we going to see any Insomniac stuff? No. I mean, we'll never get sequels that were on Xbox. It's just, and it's sad. Don't get me wrong. I am pro multi-platform, but I also understand you do have to have exclusives to garner those people back and forth to that console, because some people do buy their consoles based on the games. Sony, that's one reason Sony is had kicked ass in the PS4 era, is they had amazing first party games, which will never see the light of day on Xbox.
But they never.
And but they bought companies that were on Xbox.
But Insomniac's a horrible example, because Insomniac's top games like Ratchet and Clank and all that stuff were never on Xbox. Spider-Man was never on Xbox.
Well, yeah, Spider-Man was on Xbox.
It was on Windows PC. It was never on Xbox.
No. The original Spider-Man games were on Xbox.
The Spider-Man that was developed by Insomniac was not.
That's what I'm saying. But they had games that were on Xbox though. Shit, what was the one, Nick? I just
the only one I can think of that Insomniac had on Xbox was
Fuse and Song of the Deep. And Song of the Deep.
And Sunset Overdrive.
Oh, Song of the Deep was? I didn't know that. I didn't realize that.
It was on Xbox One.
Sunset Overdrive. So they're playing the same games. It's just that Sony or Microsoft is buying one of the biggest game franchises in the world that has lost a lot of muster. That's one thing Sony's got to remember. Call of Duty don't push consoles like it used to. Call of Duty don't push game sales like it used to. I mean, I used to love and look forward to the next Call of Duty, and now I just watch it go by. I mean, really, it's. I
mean, but I can go back to Insomniac. The only reason that Sunset Overdrive came to Xbox, guess who published it? Microsoft.
Yeah, Microsoft. Yep.
I mean, Microsoft probably commissioned them to do that for all we know if they published it.
Oh yeah, because it was a launch title.
But they are primarily a PlayStation developer, so that's kind of an odd one to use, because Insomniac, like I said, is primarily developer for PlayStation. All that stuff. But
yeah, but they still.
I hate exclusives. I hate exclusive with a passion. If Microsoft and Sony would just stop and put everything on everything, I understand there's probably some development hurdles. I'm not a developer or a programmer by any means, so don't take anything I say with anything more than a grain of salt. But if they would just kumbaya this shit and just bury the damn hatchet and release everything for everything, it'd be a much better place for everybody, including them, because I guarantee you they can make up their money. But they're too worried about what the other one is doing. And to some extent in a market, you have to, right? In a financial market, you have to know what your competitors are doing so that they're not leaving you behind in innovations and things like that. But very rarely in my life has a game driven me to do anything. Only one game that I can ever think of in my entire life has driven me to buy a console. And that was Horizon Zero Dawn. Drove me to buy a PlayStation 3 because I had known a PlayStation a long time, and I was like, there's just nothing on here I want to play. But I also didn't own an Xbox neither. I mean, I just bought a 360 that year, and I didn't own the OG Xbox or any of that stuff. And I was like, that game looks amazing, and I have to play it. And I bought it and I played it. But that's the only time in my life where I ever felt that I had to have a console because of a video game. Would I like other games that were on older consoles? Of course, but it's not compelling me to spend the $300, $400, $500 to own that console ever. I pick a console based off of a multitude of factors: where my friends are at, how I like the functionality of it, what are the tech specs of that console, But now in my later life as a gamer, I'm more set and stable in my life. I can buy every one of them that come out. And that's what I do, because I'm like, there's games here that I want to play, but I'll be honest with you, I haven't turned my damn PlayStation on in like over a month because there's just jack out on it that's not already out on the Xbox, because Sony's studios are really slow to roll out their first party games this year, which everybody is. It's everybody. But with Game Pass and stuff like that, I don't have to worry about buying a game to see if I want to try it. Whatever, I download a bunch of games. So it's the nature of the beast, and I'm kind of rooting for Microsoft in this one, and I can just tell Jim Ryan where to stick it, Got a pineapple for you, Mr. Ryan.
And it's sideways and extra pointy.
And is used by Hitler first.
Oh, he'll like that. So, no, it's a sad thing that, they don't like the game that the other team plays, even though they do the same thing. But one thing, I don't know how long the current contract is. I mean, the current contract could be another 3 years. So that's another 3 on top of that, because it clearly said the current contract providing another 3 years. So that could be 4 more years. That could be 8 more years. I don't know. I do know that if Call of Duty drives you to a console, welcome to Xbox, or sorry for your loss. I mean, really. So I don't know. I've never been driven by a game to buy anything. I mean, maybe Seaman on Dreamcast. So that's about as close as I've ever gotten to, oh, I got to have that. So I don't know. I don't get his little whininess, and I'm guaranteeing PlayStation owners, they're really not as bitchy about it as Jim Ryan is. I mean, I really doubt it. So, I mean, they've got Fortnite, so they can deal with it.
He just comes off as a whiny crybaby in this type of
He
stuff.
does.
I didn't get my
very-
Cheerios. I'm going to throw a fit. Wah, 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 wah. And that's all it sounds like it's coming from him. Let me clarify for what Phil Spencer said. Several means that he's going to keep it for 3 more years past the contract. Well, Jim, learn the definition of several.
Well,
And go sit in the corner and drink your juice box, dude. Come on.
Bastards. Jim can suck a butt. He needs to quit whining. He needs, the gaming community needs to, just step up on Microsoft and Sony and say, quit playing these childish games. Give us the games. That's it. Quit paying for exclusivity all the time for games that everybody wants to play. Because the only people they're hurting, they're hurting the people that pay their bills, essentially. Final Fantasy being exclusive. That's, that pisses off a lot of Xbox gamers. So if Call of Duty ends up one day just exclusive to Xbox, guess what? Big frickin' deal. Buy an Xbox eventually. So I don't know. I'm just bitchy now because now I'm wearing my sad pants. Thanks, Jim, you bastard. All right. You guys have anything else? All right. Well, let us know what you think. Is Jim being sad pants, or is this deal unfair? What do you think? And do you really give a crap? I mean, really? I mean, do you care if it's on one console or both or all? I don't know. But just let us know in the comments below. Make sure you like and share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And we will see you next time. See ya.